What if I told you that time isn't always linear? That in some places, under certain conditions, the past bleeds into the present with such persistence that even the most hardened skeptics are forced to question their assumptions about reality. In the Arizona desert stands a town where 26 people died violent deaths in a single building, where phantom typewriters click in empty newspaper offices, where the bootsteps of long-dead lawmen still echo down wooden sidewalks. This isn't folklore, it's Tombstone, Arizona, and there is more to this town's history than Wyatt Earp and the gunfight at the OK Corral. Founded in 1879 amid one of the richest silver strikes in American history, Tombstone rapidly transformed from a rugged mining camp into a bustling frontier metropolis. But beneath its veneer of wealth and sophistication ran an undercurrent of lawlessness that would stain its streets with blood and, according to many, leave a supernatural imprint that persists to this day. Perhaps nowhere is this paranormal residue more palpable than at the infamous Birdcage Theater. Operating from 1881 to 1889, this establishment represented both the heights of Tombstone's cultural aspirations and the depths of its moral decay. During its brief but tumultuous existence, 26 individuals met violent deaths within these walls. Today, their stories seem to linger in the very fabric of the building. Contemporary witnesses report a remarkable range of paranormal phenomena here. The sound of spectral laughter echoes through empty halls. Phantom music drifts from a long, silent stage. But most compelling are the encounters with Margarita, a former performer whose apparition is frequently observed preparing for an eternal encore. Scientific investigators have documented unexpected temperature fluctuations and electromagnetic anomalies that defy conventional explanation. The offices of the Tombstone Epitaph newspaper present another place of supernatural activity. Founded in 1880, this venerable institution served as the voice of a growing community. Yet after hours, something extraordinary occurs. Staff members report the distinctive sound of vintage typewriter keys echoing through empty rooms. Documents inexplicably rearrange themselves overnight, as if the spirit of former editor John Clum continues his editorial duties from beyond the mortal veil. At Big Nose Kate's Saloon, formerly the Grand Hotel, the paranormal narrative takes a more tragic turn. The establishment's most prominent spectral resident is Billy, a maintenance worker who perished in a basement fire. His presence manifests in ways both subtle and dramatic, from tools that relocate without human intervention to the distinctive sound of boots traversing empty upper floors. Electromagnetic field meters deployed by paranormal researchers have recorded unusual patterns consistent with theorized spectral activity. But it is perhaps at Boot Hill Graveyard where the boundary between past and present grows thinnest. Here, among wind-worn markers bearing darkly humorous epitaphs, visitors report encounters that challenge our understanding of reality. Shadowy figures move with purpose between the graves. Localized cold spots defy the desert heat. Electronic equipment malfunctions with inexplicable regularity. The most frequently encountered presence is that of Billy Clanton, one of the casualties of the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral. This 30-second conflict on October 26, 1881, between the Earp brothers, Doc Holliday, and members of the Clanton-McLaury gang has become emblematic of frontier justice, but its repercussions appear to extend beyond the merely historical. Visitors to the gunfight site report experiencing unexplained sensory phenomena: the smell of gunpowder in still air, the sound of boots on wooden planks, and most remarkably, brief glimpses of figures in period attire who vanish when directly observed. What makes Tombstone's haunted history particularly compelling is how consistently the reported paranormal activity aligns with documented historical events. The locations of supernatural encounters frequently correspond to sites of documented violence or tragedy. The descriptions of apparitions match historical photographs and contemporary accounts of the deceased. Modern paranormal investigators have employed a variety of sophisticated equipment in their studies of Tombstone's supernatural claims. From infrared cameras to electromagnetic field detectors, their findings suggest patterns of anomalous activity that, while not definitively proving the existence of ghosts, certainly challenge conventional explanations. As night falls over Tombstone, the modern world seems to recede. The electric lights cast shadows not unlike those thrown by oil lamps more than a century ago. The wind whistles through the desert scrub, carrying whispers of untold stories. In these moments, the distinction between past and present, between the living and the dead, grows remarkably thin. What draws entities to remain in certain locations? Paranormal researchers theorize that intense emotional experiences or violent deaths may imprint themselves upon the physical environment. If true, Tombstone, with its concentrated history of conflict and tragedy, would be an ideal candidate for such phenomena. Today, Tombstone stands as more than just a tourist attraction or a monument to the American West. It serves as a living laboratory for paranormal research, where the convergence of documented history and supernatural phenomena creates unique opportunities for investigation. Whether you approach these stories as a skeptic or a believer, the weight of accumulated evidence demands serious consideration. The ghosts of Tombstone, if they exist, seem less like the malevolent spirits of fiction, and more like echoes of human beings caught in an endless loop of their most significant moments. Their stories remind us that history is not merely a collection of facts and dates, but a complex tapestry of human experiences that sometimes leave impressions beyond our current scientific understanding. The story of Tombstone's haunted history doesn't end here. In fact, you might say it's still being written. If you've experienced something unexplainable in Tombstone, or if you're fascinated by the intersection of historical fact and paranormal phenomenon, I want to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell to this channel for more videos exploring some of the world's most haunted historical locations. Remember, history doesn't always rest in peace.